Hey everybody, CLARKSIDE here. Today I'm going to talk about Titanfall for the first time in what seems like forever. I'm going to be talking about whether the upcoming changes seen at E3 this week will be enough to revive the game. I'll give my thoughts on the future of Titanfall and some things that are on my wish list. Before I talk about that, I just want to cover the journey that Titanfall and the pilots, the players, have been through over the past 3 months since its release. Titanfall launched to a great amount of fanfare and received rave reviews right across the board, but somehow it's lost its momentum in its first quarter. I see a lot of players complaining on YouTube and Twitter, saying that the Xbox 360 competitive scene has pretty much died already. On the PC, Respawn removed playlists for Capture the Flag and Pilot Hunter because they felt that long wait times to get into matches detracted from the experience. They took a game with already limited game modes and made that list even smaller. I've been playing on the Xbox One from launch day, and as much as I love the game, I think it's an absolute masterstroke, I feel less inclined to play recently. The new maps in Expedition were a treat, with some really well designed maps there, but I was hoping for more game features and modes to come along with it. Unfortunately, my enthusiasm soon died off. Add to this, a couple of the biggest Titanfall YouTubers have stopped putting out videos. The biggest shockwave sent out into the community was Jacksondale deleting all trace of his channel. His YouTube, his Twitter, even his Twitch account, all gone. Nobody knows where he's disappeared to. He was meant to be making a series with Machinima. Wherever he is, I hope he's okay, and that we hear from him again in the future. Tucker Plays Games was another prolific YouTuber. He does some great in-depth wall running guides for every map, but he hasn't uploaded anything in over a month. So the pub scene, the pro scene, and YouTube all seem to be faltering right now. What can Respawn do to turn this around? What can we expect from the next update and beyond? We have 2 new game modes, Marked for Death and Last Titan Standing Wingman, shown at E3. The latter of which I'm surprised we haven't got our hands on already. I don't see how come it takes so long to release a mode that's so similar to an existing mode already in the game. Talking a bit more about Marked for Death, this game mode that we've not seen or heard of before E3 seems to be a variation on Pilot Hunter or Attrition. One player on each team is marked for death, so it's the objective of each team to kill the opposing player that is marked whilst protecting their own team member. Once a target is killed, new pilots are marked for death. It sounds a lot of fun that it might be a more fast-paced game mode if everyone is rushing to kill one particular player, but only time will tell whether it provides a new lease of life for Titanfall. We've heard Last Titan Standing Wingman mentioned before, which will be a 2v2 variation on Last Titan Standing. Respawn promises that it will be great for players who want to play an even more tactical version of LTS. Other features coming up in the update are challenges for expedition matches, customisable Titan nose art, more burn cards for Titans including amped Titan weapons, and new voices for the Titan AI. There's some nice little tweaks to the game there, but with a massive show like E3, it seems like these updates are hardly headlines worthy. I'm going to give you a rundown of a few game modes I would like to see introduced in the future. For number 1, I would love to see a free-for-all mode. I know there's a lot of people out there that would agree with me. I believe this mode would be very fast paced as you'll be running into more enemy pilots more often, and Respawn could probably do away with AI for this mode, so it'll be a pure test of player on player skill. Secondly, I believe there should be a dynamic, objective based game mode. If I was to compare this game mode to any other game mode in another game, it would be Hotspot in Medal of Honor Warfighter. There would be 4 randomised objectives, which could vary from a dropship coming in to drop off ground troops, a fortified turret, or an AI Titan. The job of the attackers would be to kill or destroy 3 out of 5 of the targets, and the defenders would need to stop them. Between each objective, the defenders would get an advance warning of its location so that they can get into position and prepare themselves for the incoming attack. Next, I have an idea for a Titan-based objective game. I got this idea from Tank Superiority mode in the Armoured Kill DLC for Battlefield 3. There would be one objective zone on the map at any one time, and it has to be captured using Titans. Whichever team has the Titan majority in the zone burns the objective and gets the points. Think of it as a King of the Hill or Headquarters mode using Titans. Finally, I have an idea for a 3-way mode. 3 teams of 4 pilots might seem like small teams, but then again, much like the free-for-all mode, you would run into enemies more often. The way that this could be integrated into the story is that the third team are colonists that aren't allied with a militia or IMC. Depending on the outcome of the matches, and which teams are first, second and third, the colonists become allied with the winners and chase down the losers, or they evacuate with the losers. This idea needs some work because the two teams that were never allied with one another in the epilogue are the IMC and militia. There needs to be a set number of outcomes that don't put the numbers in the favour of the colonists, because they'll swing either way. There's 4 ideas that I've cooked up in less than an hour. I'm surprised that a team as imaginative and creative as Respawn haven't got a list as long as their arm right now. One game mode that Respawn have been pretty adamant about not introducing is a pilot only mode. They designed the game to be Titanfall, not Pilotfall. So the whole game balance is based around pilots, titans and AI. It's a shame, but perhaps they can meet us halfway and let us make our own custom game modes in private lobbies. As much as I want Titanfall to live long and prosper, I personally worry whether these updates that we've seen at E3 will be enough to stir up enough interest in the game again and get people playing in the kind of numbers that there were before. I was hoping to see a glimpse of the next DLC at E3. With the next main gaming event being Gamescom in August, it looks like the reveal for the next expansion will come through the Titanfall website. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it would just make sense to show these things off to as many people as you can in public and generate a buzz when the gaming world's attention is on E3. They might do something at San Diego Comic-Con. In fact, it would be really smart if they did some kind of reveal there, because it would be a big news item when there's not so much background noise of other developers hyping up hundreds of games. I'd really like to know what you think about my game mode ideas, and whether you agree or disagree with my opinions in this video, please leave a comment down below. Until next time, I want to thank you all for watching. Please support this video by leaving the old thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. See you soon, YouTubers.